So the Under 5 Festival is underway. Hopefully you guys have found something to play, because I sure have. Let me tell you, I found a deck that's broken the format. Right here. Of course, you know me. It's another 60 card deck. I think literally the last 5 decks I feature on this channel have all been 60 cards. Yes, I have an issue. I should probably seek help, but I'll do that after I'm finished smoking kids that win the event with this. So this deck is Primite, Mathmech, Suship, aka PMS, which is exactly what your opponents are going to be doing when they play against this. Because this deck puts up probably the strongest board in the entire event. You basically, on ideal end board, if you open basically a Primite card with any amount of Suship cards, you get to end on a UDF, a Roar Engrave, a Primite Interruption, either Howl or Scream. Scream, if you have an extra body, Scream is basically just a Solemn Warning, and if you don't have the extra body, Howl is basically a Snatch Deal. So you actually have 2 sucks on your opponent's turn. You get to suck your opponent twice, once with UDF and once with Howl. And then also, don't forget you have the Mathmech Super Factorial as well, which is also basically like 3 interruptions in one. So you get like a send from the field, a send from their hand, and another negate. So yeah, all in total, that's like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus interruptions, and that's just off of like 2 cards. With other 3 cards in your hand being, this is a deck that plays like 19 to 20 hand traps, so you probably have non-engine. If not non-engine, you have more extenders, and if you have more extenders, you can make even more exceeds on top of it. And because this deck also plays, you know, so many extenders, and because the Suship cards are all basically somewhat extenders by not by themselves, but they're basically all somewhat extenders when you pair them with other Suship cards. This deck plays through hand traps very well, because this deck always makes at least 2 Xyz. Sometimes can make 3 Xyz, so like if you can easily bait out hand traps like Ash or Infirm, but with like 1 Xyz before even committing to your Allen version. Because the idea of this deck is the Suship cards are basically probably the best rank 4 engine in this event. Maybe tied with Sharks, but Sharks oftentimes their rank 4 engine is like waterlocks you, and obviously if you waterlock yourself, you can't make any of this extra deck. So Suship is like maybe the best generic rank 4 engine. Any 2 Suship cards basically gets you a rank 4, and then you know, any rank 4 equals Allen version. Allen version equals Mathmech combo. Allen version gets you Circular. Circular dumps Nabla. Allen version revive Nabla. Circular search Super Factorial, Nabla summon Diameter. That's your 3 Mathmech names. You go into another rank 4 of your choice. Doesn't really matter which one, because whatever rank 4 you're going to go to is just going to go into it's going to be overlaid into Utopic Future with a second rank 4 into UDF. So yeah, it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple concept, but it's very effective. Also, the fact that because there's no Nibiru, you don't have to worry about Nibiru, and then Primite Lordly Load. Keep in mind, Primite Lordly Load, you know, prevents you from using monster effects the rest of the turn. However, it doesn't prevent you from special summoning. So Primite Lordly Load just itself, on top of being, you know, the best searcher in the deck, getting you Primite Effort Barrel and getting you an actual destruction, it also just summons a level 4 body on the field for free. Now, you don't care about turning off your on-field monster effects, because all you're gonna do with the level 4 body is use it to make an Xyz that you're gonna turn into UDF. So that's another form. That's another basically extender right there. But yeah, you're gonna see in the replays the boards that this deck makes. They're basically unbreakable, this format. So yeah, and nobody is gonna know what the fuck that's going on, because I guarantee you, like there's maybe a handful of people that have even played against Suship, Mathmech, Primite. Any combination of those archetypes together at once, and this deck is all 3 of them. So yeah, to get on with the deck list, first of all, this deck plays 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Fool Loss is 8 is the 19 hand traps. So 19 hand traps in 60, which is about equivalent to like 13 hand traps in 40. So it's a decent amount of hand traps. It's not the greatest, but I mean, this format is low power enough to where you can break through it without even needing hand traps, especially if you play a deck like this that just runs extenders out the ass, so you don't even really need that many hand traps. But you know, I just played them because I own all of these UR hand traps. You know, when was the last time I get to use Mourner and Bell in the same deck? Right? Usually not often. Also, Bell protects Super Factorial. Like, if there's one thing that's vulnerable about this deck, is that sometimes Super Factorial can get hit by Call by the Grave. Well, that's why we run Bell, so Bell protects from Call by the Grave. Honestly, though, you don't even need Super Factorial half the time. Like, if you get your Primite and if you get your Primite engine alongside your Super Factorial and you have a UDF, they could Call by the Super Factorial all they want. They probably still can't beat UDF plus Primite engine anyways, but yeah, this is just Bell is just insurance. And then like there's like 41 engine cards then after the 19. Okay, there's like 40ish engine cards after the 19 hand traps, because we also play Call by and Cross Out, because Fool Loss does stop you. You can actually have decent plays under Fool Loss, so you can end on like 2 interruptions under like 1 to 0 Fool Loss draws off if you open Primite engine. But like, you know, why settle with just 2 interruptions when you can end on 6? So yeah, we have 3 Shari, obviously 3 Shari Red, or 6 copies of Shari, and this lets you, if you have another Shari in hand, you can. This is a 1 card Xyz, and it gets you it lets you summon an Ikura or a Shiraro. I'm not really in the rank 5 Suship because this is a rank 4 deck. The rank 5 Suship, all that one does is I'd let you attack directly, which is like, that's not even important. Rank being a rank 4 matters a lot more. You never want to make a rank 5. So yes, 3 of this, 3 of each of the Ikura, Uni, and Shirao. So just the max out on extenders, all of these can be special summoned if you either have like a Gunkin Suship Shari in your hand or on the field. So you know, there's free extenders that way. And oftentimes the second rank 4 that you want to use to actually get value out of before you overlay into your Topic Draco Future, because the rank 4, like making a Dweller or like something like a Trident or like what's it called, the Giant Hand, a Disruption, doesn't usually make sense because you're just going to be overlaying it into UDF. So instead, the rank 4 you want to get value out of it. So like you oftentimes will make a Gunkin Suship card as your rank 4, because you draw a card off the Shari, so you get a draw, and then if it's something like Shirao also adds a Gunkin Suship Shirao Trap from your hand, so you can add a Gunkin Suship Catch of the Day, which then lets you add another card to your hand, either for follow-up, or even oftentimes if you haven't used all your Suship names yet, you can even get an extender off the Suship and end on another rank 4. So yeah, the fact that you can just get a free draw before overlaying into Utopic Future by making either of these Gunkin Suships is pretty nice. And yeah, in order to get the additional effect, so normally you would use overlay Shirao using Shari plus Shirao. This is the best one. That way you get the 1 draw off the Shari, and then because you have a Shirao as a material as well, you get to add the Catch of the Day to your hand as well. So yeah, all these Suships. One thing about Uni, so Uni has an effect where you can change its level. You can change the Suship level from like to 4 or 5 and add a Gunkin Suship Shari from your deck to your hand. Never make something at level 5. I've fat fingered and I've accidentally made my Gunkin Suships level 5 instead of targeting Uni. Like that's not what you want to do. Like if you go Uni target Shari, your only option is to make the Shari level 5, or you're gonna look like a dumbass. Don't do that like I did. Make sure when you use Uni's effect, make sure you always Uni target itself. That way you for sure are making it a level 4, and that way that works better for your Xyz. But yeah, basically this is just a elaborate rank 4 engine to go into bridge into your Mathmech cards. And obviously for the Mathmech cards, you gotta run the Nabla, Circular, and Diameter. These are the 3 names. You don't want to run Sigma, because Sigma Cybers locks you. Like I would love to run Sigma. I have a Royal Sigma myself, but like this just doesn't fit with the deck. You don't you definitely don't want to Cybers lock yourself with a this deck. So instead you run Nabla to get your third name, and then one equation. Equation is because low-key drawing circular is a brick, because if you draw a circular, you can't go into Alan Burschen because to add a card, otherwise you're not going to be able to have a name to dump for circular. So you just add equation instead. That way, if you draw a circular, you have another name to add off the Alan Burschen. So you actually get an extender out of it, and circular becomes not a brick. It becomes an actual extender instead. So yeah, just that's what the equation is here for. Even though this seems like a low amount of Mathmech, it's fine. You don't want to hard open any of these. Hard opening these is fine because oftentimes you can do the Suships that you make rank 4s even without your normal summon. Especially with the addition of Unexpected Die and Primite Roar, which Primite Roar is like insane in this deck. So yeah, you can just, if you hard draw Diameter now, but you can just normal summon and do your combo. It's mostly the same. It's gonna be fine too. And yeah, next we have so the Unexpected Die and the Primite Roar. These are like quality extenders. If you open Die plus Roar, you can use both of them. You use Unexpected Die, chain Primite Roar. Primite Roar will summon one Shari, and then the Unexpected Die will summon the second Shari. Because even though you do control the monster at that point, all you have to do is have no monsters at the point of activation for Unexpected Die to resolve. So opening these two gets you a rank 4 as well without normal summon. Then Painful Decision basically just adds a Shari, but mostly you're going to add Shari Red to your hand. So yeah, Ikra, I didn't mention. Okay, the Ikra's effect is not really that relevant. It activates, and if you hit a Shari off the top, you could get a free extender. That's not really relevant. Shiral is actually like very good because during your main phase you can special summon a Gunkin monster from your hand. So if you have like extra Gunkin Suship names in your hand with a Shiral, you can just like get another extender for free, again without normal summoning. Catch of the Day, it's basically if you have a Shari in your hand, you get to reveal Gunkin Exceeds from your X deck, and then your opponent adds a Gunkin Suship. Your opponent decides which Gunkin Suship name you want to add to your hand. You can either the opponent declares one Gunkin monster's card name except Shari that is mentioned on any Gunkin Exceeds monster. So basically, they can choose to give you either Ikura, Shiral, or Uni. And like the earlier you use this, obviously, is the better. But like you don't want to open with, you're not opening with this because like you only play one to search. So like your opponent, if they're paying attention, they should know what to give you. Like they should give you a name that you've already used before, so that you can't use it the same way that turn. It's still a free card against you follow up, but generally this won't add you an actual extender. Now, if your opponent is not paying attention and they're caught lacking, and they just randomly call a name, and it happens to be a name that you haven't used it, then you get a free. Then they just gave you a free extender. So thank your opponent for not paying attention. Yeah, the triple Primite, Effort Barrel, triple Primite, Lordly Low, triple Primite Roar. Like obviously you're running the Primite deck, so you're gonna play these. Drill Beam is banned, and Imperial Dragon is also banned because it's higher than a level 5. So the two Primite interruptions we run are Howl and Scream, and depending on like your board state, it's gonna depend on which one you search. Scream is where if you have enough bodies to where you can end on UDF and also use Primite Roar to summon a vanilla on the field, then you can use Scream, because Scream requires you to control a normal monster in order to actually use its effect to Solemn Warning. But yeah, obviously if you can't get the extra body, or if you don't know if you're going to get the extra bodies, Primite Howl is the safe option. However, Primite Howl, low-key, this card kind of sucks. Like you declare a normal, it's like in between, it's like the opposite of Roar. So like if you control no monsters, you can special summon you can special summon a normal monster from your hand or from your graveyard or deck. So it's like Roar in that sense, but obviously it's way worse because Roar you can use on your turn and actually do plays with it, whereas Howl, if you're summoning a vanilla monster on your opponent's turn, that doesn't do as much for you. And you can obviously that only works if you control no monsters, so you'll rarely even get a chance to use Howl's effect to special summon, because you're oftentimes by that time you're gonna have a monster on field already. And Howl lets you lets you like steal your opponent's monster. But the problem is that it only lets you steal monsters that have higher attack than your vanilla monster in grave. So like where Roar banishes monsters that have lower attack than your vanilla on normal summon, which is every normal summon in the game pretty much. So like you'll always get value out of the war. A lot of times, how it doesn't let you steal the monster that you want, because your monster you steal has to have higher than 2,000 attack. And like oftentimes, I would actually the majority of the time the prime target to steal off Howl is under 2k attack. So you kind of have to let your opponent cook with Howl first before you even get value out of it. That's why I don't like this. And like you'll see in a replay, I kind of misplay with this, thinking that this card was better than it was, and also my opponent also played around it. So yeah, I don't actually like this card because it's easy to play around and like it's not reliable, but it is like a free interruption. So I mean, why not, right? It's another layer of interruption your opponent has to play through on top of your like other 5 interruptions. So like it's gonna be fine as long as it's not by itself. If Howl is your only interruption, it's a bit questionable. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. And then so yeah, did I cover every card in the main deck? Yeah, pretty much. If there's a card in here that you that I somehow didn't cover and you don't know what it is, just let me know in the comments. I'll clarify it for you. And the extra deck. So the extra deck is basically just UDF package. So Utopic Future plus Utopic Draco Future, and then a Mathmech package Laplacian plus Alan Version, and then an Ikura and a Shiral, and then the rest is literally whatever the fuck rank 4s you own or whatever rank 4s you want. So like I played Exciton and Exciton and Dweller because I own them. They're URs. I never made these ones because like why would I need to make these when like I already have enough more interruptions than my opponent has playable cards in hand. You know, why would I also need to floodgate my opponent with a Dweller, right? But yeah, Daigasso Emerald, theoretically this is a rank 4 that can get you value before you overlay it into Utopic Future. So like you could theoretically draw a card off Emerald and then overlay it so you get a actually value instead of just wasting an XYZ. But I've never made this. Like when your turn 1 combo, you don't actually end up with enough monsters in grave that you want to shuffle back, because obviously you want to keep all the Mathmech monsters in grave. So like the fact that you have to shuffle 3 means that this card isn't very usable turn 1 unless you ash your opponent's Fuelos exactly. So like I never actually made this, so this doesn't really matter. This could be literally anything. In fact, I actually recommend playing Grandpa's instead, because as I mentioned in an earlier video, your opponents are going to be playing. Some people are going to be real degenerates and they're going to be playing Stygian Dirge, which turns all of your monsters from level 4 to level 3. So if you play Grandpa's out Stygian Dirge. So like it's no problem there. So yeah, honestly, just use the 15th slot on Stygian Dirge on Quantum, a Super Quanto Mech Beast Grandpa's as an out to Stygian Dirge, and your Gucci. I played Dugars like in very desperate scenarios. If I can't somehow get another 2 bodies to make a second rank 4, Dugars still detaches 2 cards, so it still detaches both Mathmech names into the graveyard. Like that's the key. You want to get the Mathmech names into the graveyard. By overlaying into Utopic Future into UDF, they go into the graveyard automatically by game mechanics, since they're not attached to the UDF. But if you can't get a second XYZ, just make Dugars, and then you can like draw 2, hopefully draw into hand traps and still set up your Super Factorial that way. 1 Vapartu, this card's very funny. So this card can add a Shari to your hand. So oftentimes, if you have a hand full of like Shiral and like Uni and Ikura, and you're desperately needing a Shari, you can just go Vapartu. Vapartu will out the Shari, and then it turns all your extenders live. So yeah, and at worst case, this is also basically means that if you can't get a second rank 4 XYZ to overlay into Utopic Future, you can use your 2 Mathmechs at the end of your combo to make Vapartu to search Shari, and then Shari could maybe turn on an extender. That way it could help you get the second rank 4. Yeah, Shiral and Ikura, I think I covered those before. Ask Sophia, this is basically just an out to UDF, because UDF is legal, and it's like probably it's probably the best boss monster, the best end war piece in the format. So Ask Sophia just literally just bounces a card, just bounces a monster your opponent controls to the extra deck. So like this is just to clean out the UDF. So they either either outs it if you've already baited out UDF's negate, or it forces out the UDF negate, and then it lets you play afterwards. So yeah, this just having a clean out the UDF, I think, is important in most decks. So in every deck actually. So yeah, Aslofeel I think is most most relevant one. The other effect you don't really care about. It's like cannot be destroyed by activated effects monster special summon from graveyard. That's like some zombie vampire protection type shit. That's not very real unless like your opponent is very unlucky and somehow has like the one scenario that actually played into this. But yeah, and then full armor utopic Ray Lancer. It's another pseudo out to UDF because it lowers its attack to 3k to 2.5k, so it's the same attack and you can just crash at the worst, but also like it negates your opponent's monster's effects in the battle phase. It pushes for damage, it attacks twice. You have a lot of spell and trap cards that are like, if you open multiple roar, multiple die, multiple decision, multiple rolly load, and you don't have a use for them, just turn them into this, and it's great. And then Vespacito, just because it's just a free card you can put on top of your rear rank 4s, and it floats. So yeah. And they can float into like a Shari, which can then maybe turn on something like a Howl or a Scream as well. So it's yeah, this is pretty decent. And yeah, this is if you don't believe me, I'm now gonna show you how broken this deck is. So this is like a standard combo with the deck. We open Suship Shark Red, Fuelas, and Primite Roar and 2 hand traps. So this is actually a below average hand because we miraculously only open one Suship card, so one Suship card alone does not do anything by itself. However, we did open Primite Roar and we opened the Fuelas, so I can go Primite Roar and summon Shari from deck. And here, this Fuelas, which has no use because I can't use it if I'm going first and have a board, I can just normal summon the Fuelas. And then Fuelas is a level 4, which means that Fuelas plus any, unexpected die or Primite Roar makes Allen Version. And then Allen Version lets me add Circular, and then Circular dumps Nabla, tribute Allen Version, summon back Nabla, the Circular will add the Super Factor to hand, the Nabla will tribute itself to summon Diameter. And here, we exceeds these two into Vapartu. You see this Gunkin Suship Shari Red, it's just begging to have another Suship monster in hand so that it can use its effect. And Vapartu on summon lets us just search the Gunkin Suship Shari to our hand. And now that we have a Shari in hand, we can reveal it with Shari Red, special Shari Red, and then Shari Red's effect. You can special summon a Gunkin Suship monster from deck, and then immediately exceed summon using those two monsters. So with these two now, we get to go into Shirao class carrier. And Shirao class carrier, when it's exceed summon, if it has Shari and Shirao as material, which Gunkin Suship Shari Red always comes to Shari, you get to draw a card and you get to add a Gunkin spell trap from deck your hand. So we just get 2 free cards off of this. And we draw a Bell, which is unfortunate because we already had one, and we add Gunkin Suship Catch of the Day. We reveal Shari. Our opponent chooses to give us a Shirao, which is smart because we already used Shirao's effect. So adding this to our hand doesn't do anything. However, we do get that as follow up, and now we can turn these two into a Utopic Future, and then Utopic Future goes into UDF, and there we go. And now we set Super Factorial. So off of like a slightly below average hand, off like a 2.5 card combo, and literally the 0.5 card was literally normal summoning a Mulcharming Fuelas, the worst level 4 in our deck. We still end on UDF plus Super Factorial, and we have 5 cards in hand plus a Catch of the Day, and we do have 2 hand traps. So this is still like in this format, this is good luck dealing with this. And our opponent is playing they're playing the Suship Loner. So unfortunately, they're playing the inferior Suship deck. So they add a Shari Red with 7 Tachyon, which is very interesting. That's a weird add. And they use Shari Red, reveal the Gunkin Suship Shari, and then they, special summon it, summon Ikura, and they go into Ikura by class. And here, I'm like, this is very tempting. I know this is incorrect, but it was just too tempting. I just had to take my opponent's Suship. Their Suship was looking mighty fine, so I just had to take it for myself. Even though, like, literally all that was going to do was they were going to draw a card. Like, that is not the correct thing to negate, but I just wanted to take their Suship to establish dominance and show who's the better Suship duelist in this duel. But yeah, then our opponent activates Surfacing Big Draws, which is unfortunate, but we do have 2 hand traps in hand, so like we can just Veiler it. And our opponent has like 3 cards in hand. They have a normal summon. Amazingly, they played around the Roar, because if anytime they normal summon something, it just gets nuked by Roar as well. So like, they're trying their best to not trigger a Roar, because Roar is just an additional interruption on this board too. Then makes this board even harder to play through. Then they have Uni, reveal Shari, so they have another extender, and they special both of those. And here's a good time to Super Factor, because now they only have 1 card left in hand. So might as well just get the Laplacian out right now and rip that last card, and then also rip the Shari from their board. So yeah, goodbye hand and goodbye Shari. That nice Shirao, and then they're gonna use Gunkin Suship Uni to try to turn into level 4, and I'm just gonna say no. Stay at level 5. you can stay as a level 5, and our opponent realizes this, and then they realize that they're outclassed in the Suship battle, and they basically concede. And our turn, we draw a Primite Effort Barrel, which is like, that's literally the best draw in our deck. But again, it doesn't matter because our opponent already gave up at that time. They already crashed their sushi, and they already crashed their fish, which was like was about to turn into sushi itself shortly after. But yeah, that's a typical combo, ending on like basically 5 interruptions, not even including any Primite cards, because we didn't even draw a Primite card in that. But yeah, Matt, even if we drew a Primite card like an Effort Barrel or Lorilo, it would have been even crazier. So this is a much better hand, and this can even bait and play through hand traps as well. So we're gonna start with Unexpected Die, and then we're gonna chain Primite Roar. Doing this, it allows you to get both special summons off of Die plus Roar, because Unexpected Die only has to control no monster or activation. So we summon both 2 Gunkin Suship Sharis from deck, and we go into Ikura class. And here I'm trying to bait out hand traps too, because I go into Ikura class to try and draw cards, trying to bait out a hand trap, and my opponent doesn't fall for it. So next I activate Primite Lorilo to add Ether Barrel, and then I normal summon Ether Barrel, and the Ether Barrel places Scream. They still don't bite, so at this point I'm like, okay, cool. You let me get a draw, you also let me get Scream already, so I'm gonna just use Circular right now. Circular, dump Nabla, and then go into Alan Burschen effect, and then the Alan Burschen gets ashed. And honestly, I couldn't care less about this ash. Okay, like, so this ash I do care a little bit. It provides me super factorial, but I still have 2 rank 4s on board, so this is still UDF. So this is still Utopic Draco Future, and then we use Lorilo to summon like Gunkin Suship Shari back, and then we still, after through an Ash denying me my Mathmech engine, we still have UDF, Scream plus Roar in Grave, so that's still like 3 interruptions. 3 hard to play through interruptions, by the way. If they normal summon something, it's gone. If they try to special summon something, it gets negated by the Scream, and also the Utopic Draco Future is just really hard to out this format when backed up with anything. And we also have a Ghost Spell just randomly too. But our opponent, they're gonna activate 1 for 1, and they're gonna send Ladybug, enter battle phase with Glow Bulb, and everyone forgets the Primite Roar's first line of text, or the first part of the effect. People know the second part of Primite Roar. You know Primite Roar's first part of the effect says declare a monster card name, and then the monster with that name cannot be destroyed by battle until the end of your opponent's turn. So yeah, they try to attack over my 0 attack Shari, successfully baited. You can't do that, and yeah, they just cannot play. Their Naturia Loner cannot hope to attempt to play through this board now. So yeah, so here's a game where we're going second, and we open three hand traps, as MBT would say, 4 hand traps and a 1-card Sharder, and our opponent is playing Materiactor. So they go Exoraptor, and I'm like, might as well ash this. I feel okay ashing this because like I have 2 other hand traps, so like it's whatever. If you have more extension, I have more ways to hit it. And then they used their field spell to activate 6, changed order, but like the main point of the field spell is that you can normal summon Prime Materiactor and then just immediately go into Exegard. And here on the Exegard, they're going to attach using the field spell, but I'm just going to Mourner the Exegard so that they can't add any more stuff. So yeah, they add E-Telly, and then he pass on this, and this is really annoying, honestly, because I as you can tell, I don't have very much engines, so like I don't have a lot of pushes, so this is actually kind of annoying. So I'm going to use Primite Roar to Primite Roar summon the Gunkin Suship Shari, and then activate Painful Decision to add a Shari to my hand, and then normal summon the Shari Red, and then of course they're going to now trigger Exegard. I start add the Prime Material Pendulum and the E-Telly back to their hand, and then they're gonna bounce my Shari, and then that's really bad because now they have follow-up, and all I have is I have Primite Roar and a Veiler and a Dream, basically. So this is not looking good. Our hand was pretty weak. No open no Primite cards and open no math and no additional extenders to extend past 1 bounce. So yeah, that's unfortunate. And our opponent is now gonna E-Telly, some Psychic Tracker, use X-Raptor now. I don't have the Ash anymore, so now they get to add another Materiactor to their hand, special summon the X-Raptor, and they're going to Giga Boreals. And here, thank God I have the Veiler still, so I can Veiler the Giga Boreals. And they haven't normal summon yet, so they have one more play left, and their one play is to normal summon their normal Pendulum and then use their Field Spell to Xyz summon. Thankfully, the Roar covers that, so the Roar just banishes the Prime Materiactor before they can Xyz. And now they're gonna enter battle phase, and again, not realize that they can't attack over my Shari, so instead they're gonna go into Utopia Draco Future. And thankfully, this deck has a bit of an easier time outing Draco Future than other decks, because all I gotta do is draw 1A extender, and we do that. We draw Uni, so I'm gonna Uni reveal Shari, and my opponent Draco Futures this. That is not the correct thing to Draco Future. That's absolutely not the correct thing, because now I have a Shari in hand, right? I can just normal summon it and then make a rank 4. Of course, they don't know what rank 4 I'm making. They thought I was just making some random rank 4, but no, I'm making Alan Bershin. Alan Bershin, detached 2, gets ogred. Anyways, Crossout Designator, because Crossout Designator negating hand traps is very fair. So now I get to add Circular, and Circular Effect, and they just give up because we were gonna make Alan Bershin, and they were gonna lose literally every single card in their hand. They were going to lose every single card they own. Their Field Spell, their UDF, and their last card in hand. All of that was going to be gone. But, yeah, they spare me the trouble. Alright, so this game, we're going first. This hand is very good. We open Primite plus 2 Suship cards plus Primite Roar. The only thing that could stop this hand is March Army Fool Loss. We don't have the Alpha Fool Loss. So unfortunately, the Fool Loss is really annoying. This hand was an FTK without the Fool Loss. Instead of ending on 6 interrupts now, we're going to have to cut our combo short. In fact, I don't even summon off the Primite Roar, because Primite Roar doesn't have to summon. So I like to not to summon and give my opponent extra. And that was a bit greedy, because if my opponent had an Imperm, I would end on no interruptions besides the spell in hand. The safe play would just be to summon anyways. That way, even if my Primate Effort Barrel gets impermed, I would still have Roar engraved and a vanilla monster on the field. So, yeah, but I wanted to give my opponent less draws as possible, and I was putting them on... You don't have Fool Loss plus imperm, surely, right? And it turns out they don't, so never punished. I get the set of Lordy Load, then I use Lordy Load's effect, and I add Primite Howl. What do you guys think the Primite Howl sounds like? And we... send Shari, and the reason I don't summon back the Shari off the Lordy Load is very stupid. This is probably not optimal. I just leave myself open for let my life points open for not really a good reason. But I was thinking that when I pull a normal summon monster and I trigger Primite Roar, if they have Call by the Grave, they might not know how my Primite cards work, and they might try to Call by the Grave my Gunk and Suship Shari, and then I can chain Howl to summon back the Shari and dodge Call by the Grave and waste a Call by the Grave from their hand. So I'm like 5,000 IQ, trying to 5,000 IQ. They don't have Call by the Grave, so that was entirely pointless. I just sent a body off my field for no reason basically. So they're gonna Cyber Emergency, then normal summon Cyber Dragon Core, which just gets roared. This yeah, their Cyber Dragon Core getting banished is not good for them because this has a graveyard effect. So yeah, they add a Cyberdark Realm, so they are playing Cyberdark at least. So they have some extension. They can Cyberdark Realm, add the Cyberdark Cannon, and then do the Cyberdark play. Pitch Cannon, add what's that card called? Chimera. And then here I use Howl, and then I realized Howl sucks ass because my mind was like, Howl is a steal, right? So I can just steal their opponent's monster, and then I realized that Howl only takes control of monsters that have higher attack than my Shari, and let me tell you, so many things I want to steal have less attack than my Shari does, and I can't do that. So that was that was a pointless move by me. So the Howl, I realized I can't take the fucking Chimera, so they end up using the effect anyways, pitching a Dark Hole, which is crazy, until I realized they have a second Dark Hole. So yeah, goodbye my Shari, and then they're going to use Chimera to send Claw, and then they're going to use Power Bond. So here's the thing: they use Power Bond, and they make Panzer Dragon because If you're wondering, Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon is Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon is legal. However, if they made Rampage Dragon, I could use Primite Howl's Engrave effect and steal their Rampage Dragon, and then the game would be over because then I would just take it and then they couldn't do anything and they would pass back to me. So instead they made Panzer Dragon to play around the fucking Primite Howl, and they have exactly enough attack to where I can't fucking take their Panzer Dragon with the Howl, so I just have to take 2k in the face, and then I have to find my way around this Panzer Dragon without destroying it. Which, unfortunately for my opponent, they don't know that I have a very easy way of outing this Panzer Dragon, so here I'm gonna add the Effort Barrel back, and the world is my oyster, so I normal summon Effort Barrel. Don't you just love Effort Barrel being a recursive resource every single fucking turn? So yeah, I add Primite Roar, then I use Effort Barrel, sending effect, and I chain Primite Roar just because I need to get the Primite Effort Barrel off the field so the Roar goes off. By the way, I'm at 2k life points, living on the edge here. So yeah, then I summon Shari, special the Shirao from hand, Shirao effect special Shari from hand, reveal 3, doesn't really matter because I'm actually just gonna make an Allen version anyways. Like, it doesn't matter that I stack my decks, I end up shuffling it anyways. Add Circular, dump Nabla, Allen version, summon back Nabla, Circular, add Equation, then Nabla tribute itself, summon Diameter, then I use Equation, summon back Nabla, and here I go all 3 into a Lapation, because you can, I play 2 Laplations, so that means I'm free to use 1 Lapation on my turn to break a board. And my opponent's, this is the very easy out the Panzer Dragon. Without triggering Panzer Dragon's effect to pop any of my cards, we just send it to the grave along with their Cyberdark Realm and their Cyber Dragon Naturia that they added last turn. And now they have 1 card in hand, and yeah, the 1 card in hand is not going to be enough because I'm going to go into Excitonite, and then I overlay the 3 material Lapation and the 3 material Lapation and the 2 material Excitonite into Utopic Future. So I basically overlaid 5 level 4s into 1 UDF. The most economically valued UDF you've ever seen. 5 monsters to make 1 Utopic Draco Future, but it's fine because my opponent just normal summons Cyber Dragon Core, which gets roared for the 2nd time. How many times have you seen the same monster get Primite roared in the same duel? This is a first for me personally, so yeah, they're gonna add a Cyberdark Realm, and doesn't do anything because Cyberdark Realm. They can add a Chimera, and whatever normal the Chimera, use Chimera's effect, and we just steal the Utopic Draco Future. So yeah, they had a thrust, by the way. That was might have been scary if I used Utopic Draco Future. Unfortunately for them, I had a Roar engraved, so like I was never gonna use the Utopic Draco Future first. And yeah, I get to steal their Chimera, and then the Effort Barrel comes back to my hand. Man, this is Primite cards, man. Very. Who thought of designing cards like this? But yeah, anyways, that's gonna be game attacking with their own Cyberdark Chimera. Yeah, still end on like a couple interruptions under Fool Loss, and after that, the follow up with the Primite engine linking into the rank 4 engine into Mathmech is, yeah, chef's kiss. So I think this is the best Primite deck of this event, and I think this is also the best way to play Suship this event. And it's one of the few ways that you can play Mathmech in this event because, you know, no link monsters and all that. So if you happen to own all 3 of these engines, I implore you, please give this deck a try. You will not be disappointed, or your money back guaranteed. Even though technically this doesn't cost you any money, and you're not paying anything for this. So I guess your time will not be wasted playing this deck. Now, if for some reason you don't want to play this, but you're still looking for some deck to play for this event, go check out my other videos that I did on this event. I showcase a lot of decks that you can play for this event that are budget, and decks that are just generally what I think are some of the strongest for this event. So check those out too.